Okay, so we're back and ready to dive into something pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
We've got a ton of research articles, reports, even some architectural plans,
Oh, wow.
all about how the pandemic has totally
Yeah.
reshaped the way we think about workspaces,
Yeah.
especially here in New York City.
Yeah.
And it's way beyond just, working from home.
Right.
It's like a full-on design revolution and this whole rise of hybrid models.
Yeah.
So whether you are someone who's going back to an office or you're trying to,
Yeah.
negotiate a new work arrangement, or if you're just curious about what's happening to all these skyscrapers in the city, this is going to be a really interesting deep dive, I think.
Absolutely. I think the pandemic was really a reset moment for a lot of companies in terms of what is the office?
Right.
What is the purpose of the office?
Yeah.
So we're seeing this complete reimagining of how spaces are used.
It's so true.
Particularly in a city as dynamic as New York.
Well, and it's interesting too because we keep hearing these buzzwords like collaborative spaces.
Yeah.
And I'll paint a picture here. What does that even look like?
Yeah, so think about walking into an office, and instead of those rows and rows of cubicles, you see these open areas that are specifically designed for teamwork, and they might have modular furniture. You can reconfigure for brainstorming sessions or presentations.
Oh, that's cool.
Some companies are even creating spaces that are dedicated
Wow.
to socializing and team building. It's almost like a company living room.
So interesting.
And then individual desks are becoming less common.
Right.
They're replaced by these flexible workstations that
yeah.
can be adapted to different needs.
So it's like the office is becoming much more fluid,
Exactly.
like adapting to how people actually work.
Yeah.
But what about people who, like to work in their own little bubble?
Yeah.
Is the individual workspace going extinct?
I don't think so. I think while assigned desks are on the decline, many companies are still incorporating quiet zones or focus pods
Right.
for, heads down individual work.
Yeah.
It's about providing options
Yeah.
and recognizing that, different tasks require different environments.
Right.
And there was a study from Harvard Business Review that actually found that productivity increased
Wow.
when companies offered a variety of workspaces to suit individual preferences.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Options are key.
Uh-huh.
And speaking of options, let's talk about all this natural light
Yes.
that all these articles are raving about.
Right.
Is that just a design fad, or is there something more to it?
It's definitely more than just aesthetics.
Okay.
There's a lot of research that shows that exposure to natural light can improve mood,
Right.
reduce stress,
Oh, wow.
boost productivity. So it makes sense that companies are
Yeah,
incorporating more windows, skylights, even outdoor spaces.
it's true.
Like balconies, rooftop gardens, even atriums that bring nature indoors.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And this is especially significant, I think, in a dense urban environment like New York.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm already feeling relaxed just thinking about all that greenery.
Yeah.
But, we can't just plop a plant in the corner
Exactly.
and call it a day, right? What about all the tech?
Well, that's the backbone of these new workspaces, especially with the rise of hybrid models. And we're not just talking about, hopping on a Zoom call anymore. We're talking about companies investing in these sophisticated
Yeah.
video conferencing systems that make remote participants feel like they're actually in the room.
That's cool.
360-degree cameras, interactive whiteboards, spatial audio that replicates the nuances of face-to-face conversations.
That's amazing.
And then there's the software side of things,
Right.
project management platforms like Asana and Monday.com,
Yes.
which are becoming really essential for coordinating tasks and keeping everyone on the same page,
Totally.
regardless of location.
Yeah, that's so key.
Yeah.
And that brings us to this whole hybrid work thing. It feels like it's more than just a trend. Is this the new normal?
It seems like the data definitely points in that direction.
Oh, right.
A recent survey by PwC found that over 70% of companies
No,
in New York City plan to adopt a hybrid model permanently.
that's a lot.
And it's not just about, keeping employees happy.
Right.
Companies are seeing benefits in terms of talent acquisition and retention, reduced overhead costs, even environmental impact,
Right.
with fewer commuters on the road.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I imagine it's not all sunshine and rooftop gardens, are there?
Well, of course not.
Like downsides, potential pitfalls?
Yeah, hybrid work definitely comes with its own set of challenges.
Like what?
Well, for employees, it requires a high level of self-discipline. time management skills.
Yeah.
It can also lead to feelings of isolation and, difficulty disconnecting from work.
Right. It's hard to.
And for employers, the challenge is in maintaining company culture, fostering that sense of community when people aren't always physically present.
Right.
So it requires a shift in management styles, a focus on really clear communication, a commitment to providing the tools and support for employees to thrive.
Yeah, you have to be really intentional about it.
Exactly.
So finding that right balance is key.
Absolutely.
And it seems like New York businesses are at the forefront of figuring all of this out.
Yeah, they are.
What are some of the unique ways companies here are approaching hybrid work?
Well, New York is a city of early adopters.
Right.
So some companies are experimenting with flexible schedules
Okay.
where employees can choose their in-office days. Others have dedicated certain days for team meetings or collaborative projects.
That's cool.
We're even seeing the rise of co-working spaces specifically designed for hybrid teams.
Oh, wow.
Offering amenities like on-site childcare and wellness programs.
That's amazing. It's so adaptable.
It is.
But with all this talk about, desks and tech and all of that, I think it's important to bring it back to the human element.
Absolutely.
Like, what are the psychological and social implications of these new workspaces?
Yeah, that's a really crucial question because we are talking about people's livelihoods, their well-being, their sense of purpose.
Right.
And the research is suggesting that these changes can have a profound impact on employee morale, productivity, even creativity.
Wow.
One study found that employees in well-designed, flexible workspaces reported a 15% increase in feelings of well-being and a 10% boost in perceived productivity.
That's significant.
It is.
So it's not just about aesthetics.
Right.
It's about creating an environment where people feel valued and supported and connected.
Exactly.
But if the office as we knew it is evolving, what does that mean for the future of cities like New York?
That's a great question, and it's one that urban planners are really grappling with right now.
Yeah.
Will we see a shift towards more mixed-use developments where workspaces are integrated into residential areas?
Okay.
Will cities become these hubs for collaboration and innovation?
Yeah.
With people coming together for specific purposes and then retreating to their individual or remote workspaces?
That's fascinating to think about.
It is.
It really is. And so if the traditional office is kind of fading away, what takes its place?
Yeah.
Will we see this rise of hyper-specialized co-working spaces, a resurgence of home offices, or something totally new that we haven't even imagined yet?
Yeah.
That's something I'll definitely be pondering.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Sounds good.